Warning: this book will not be conventional in the sense that it will try to provide politically correct answers to the problems that we are facing in urban America. A subject of this matter requires a deeper analysis that goes well beyond the scope of one's typical way of thinking. So I wrote this book as a starting point in an attempt to address such matters. We must explore unconventional solutions, or at least the situation from an unconventional standpoint, if we want to make any true breakthroughs. If we are going to deal with the core of the problems that we as an urban society are faced with in regards to our youth, we must be open and honest about the current state that they live in. While it is important that we address the cause of the situation, it is also equally important that we look at the effects of living in an artificial environment plagued by violence, drugs, unemployment, discrimination, and police brutality. How could one not be violent in the face of all the violence that we have endured over the last 400 years? How could one not want to use drugs as an escape from all the hardships related to living in such conditions? When faced with the option of being hungry and unemployed, or hitting the streets to sell drugs, how could one not make the choice of getting paid? The million-dollar question is, what if the same things that plagued us could save us? This generation has learned to embrace the unbearable. That old saying, whatever doesn't kill you will only make you stronger, rings true with this generation. Drugs and alcohol, which have caused so much damage to the previous generation, have almost had the reverse effect on this generation. They have become immune to the negative effects. They have become stronger than ever before. They have created an entire culture based on the type of music that they listen to, the type of drugs and alcohol that they use, and their sexual behaviors. While most will view them as violent, lost, and confused troublemakers with no regard for life, in my humble opinion, they are the most advanced, enlightened, and spiritual beings on the planet. They have bottomed out, and are now using the very vices that were meant to weigh them down to uplift them. I call this urban alchemy. To the parents, teachers, and elders who have all but given up on this generation, I have but a few questions to ask you. Have you taught them about sex magic and the power of using their creative energy to activate their spirituality? Have you taught them about the use of certain drugs that could assist them in seeing beyond this so-called reality and their connection to everything in the universe? Have you taught them about the power of music and sound vibration and its ability to heal and open their spiritual centers? If you have answered no to any of these questions, then it is you that are out of touch with the current reality that they reside in. If your response is, "This is some mumbo-jumbo new age nonsense," then it shows that you are really out of touch with the transformation that we are all making, which is being led by this caste of rebellious, misunderstood youth. Some of you have already put the book down. For those of you who are still with me, strap on your seatbelt, because we are about to go on one hell of a ride. I too was looking on the surface at all of the problems that our youth were causing, until I began to look under the surface at what was really going on. Then it dawned on me. I wasn't witnessing the demise of a culture. I was witnessing the rise of a culture. Birth is violent, so to usher in a new paradigm will require an uncomfortable period in our history that will undoubtedly lead to a new paradise. We will have our youth to thank for it. However, to understand them, we must first understand the culture that bred them. So I present to you Urban Culture Decoded, a critical analysis of the physical, mental, and spiritual state of a new generation.